Let me just put out that I'm live on various places. Alright, so everything. Alright, so let's do this. Here's the list. I'm not gonna change anything. I like my previous list just fine. Let's go for a league. As I said yesterday, I'm not gonna screw around with different deck lists until I'm up on play point, because 300's not that much. Let's just jam a red-white Incinerator league. Let's see what we're up against. All I need is to dodge bad matchups. I like this just fine. It's the turn to Incinerator, we can't really complain. What scares us now from our opponent? Not much, I think. Like, not any normal thing. If they go land into Simeon Spear's Guide into Chalice on 1, we're obviously sad. This is Titan, or a random field deck. You could be playing blue, so that's a consideration. Let's bolt first in case they force this. So no force. Like sometimes Teamer plays Field of the Dead. If opponent concedes, I'm gonna assume it's Amulet, because Amulet really doesn't have an out for a turn to Incinerator, especially on the draw. But them not conceding makes me think that... Okay, so they definitely have an answer for my Incinerator. And I keep drawing lands. So we're not in a great spot. Like every time that I keep 3 lands, I see the 5th really fast. But whenever I keep 1, I never see the second one. No idea what's up with that. Okay, so opponent just concedes. I'm gonna assume he's on... and we would have drawn another land? Seriously? Oh my god, thank god opponent conceded. Like, we were just gonna brick if he had an answer for the Incinerator. I'm gonna assume he's on Teamer because of the Scalding Tarn. So let's just side for that. So Teamer, we need Skullcrack and we need Surgical. I don't love Riftbolt here because of Remand. Thank you, Kathanakit, for the follow. Our next bolt will be dedicated to you. Let's see if we... Do I want to cut Riftbolt? He's on 4-color field. Yeah, I suspect some pile like that 4 colors, so probably also playing white. It's definitely Teamer. And I think that the splash doesn't really matter too much. If you have a deck list, I'd appreciate it, but I think I'm gonna cut Riftbolt, because Remand is probably super annoying for Riftbolt. I think I have to cut Riftbolt here. I'm just gonna cut Seal. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, we love this hand. 2 Surgical's a bit risky, but we get to Surgical as a hand peek, and we get to save one for Uro. We have the secret play where we just Surgical twice to make Monastery unboltable. Of course, we draw a land here. Hopefully it doesn't bolt now. Hand looks good. Yeah, this hand looks great. Double Surgical's a bit heavy, but having a creature is really good. And like their best hand is an Uro hand. Okay, so he does bolt, and I don't have any surgical target, sadly. Now, this might be Teamer. But I don't know, I think that beyond Teamer, like the fourth color doesn't really matter much. Another land? I kinda wanna Boros Charm now to bait my opponent into playing Uro next turn. I'm afraid that if I keep this up, he'll play around Skullcrack, which I don't have, so I'm gonna Boros Charm now. Okay, so hopefully opponent plays Uro now. So no Uro. Oh, no land? Oh, that's interesting. That's muy interesting. Let's open up with a Goblin Guide, of course. We do give them the land. The opponent gusts my Goblin Guide. I don't know, I don't want to reveal Surgical. I want him to play Uro, like, carefree. On turn 1, I didn't have surgical targets for that lightning bolt to check if he had it. I could have protected myself, play Lava Spike first, and then play Swiftspear and have double surgical to protect it. That might have been smart, honestly. But here, I think I just want to top this. Again, I'm gonna try and bait out the Uro before he has protection for it. Okay, so now we surgical the Uro and we're in a decent position to... So no land. Okay, so let's surgical right away. So yes. Okay, his hand's kinda scary, not gonna lie. I'm gonna write out his hand in chat just because. Just because I don't feel like printing it and putting it somewhere, because it doesn't go into the reveal space. So let me check his deck list actually. So he's on Teamer, and he has no Weather the Storm's great for us. Let's exile that one. I'm streaming early today. Yeah, a bit earlier. I actually prefer streaming a bit earlier, just because it leaves me more time during the day to do other stuff. But sometimes due to lunch schedules and whatnot, I don't really have the chance. Flooding out a little bit doesn't help. But Kathanicate, this Lava Spike goes out for you. Thank you for the follow again. Hopefully we don't keep revealing lands. Shockland's not the worst. Now that Gust in his hand's gonna be annoying. And he shocks himself here. Of course he has Reclamation. That's a problematic one. Ah, I misplayed here. I should have surgical the Gust before he untapped. Big mistake, big mistake. Big mistake on my part. I'm gonna do it if he cryptics this. It's like to... and he doesn't. Either Gust is just such a strong hate card. Reveal another Factor Fiction. So Gust Cryptic, double fact, Titan, random 6. Okay, and he does Gust my Swiftspear. Let's put it on... I've gotta put it on bottom, because opponent has Cryptic. He has a... Wait, what? He had 2? Oh. I really should have went for surgical on the Gust then. I think we just lose this now. I think we just lose this now. Definitely a big mistake on my part. I should have gusted. I should have surgical the Gust when he played Wilderness Reclamation, because I knew we had one, and it's a very decent. It's a very decent surgical target. Like, since I've already caught Uro, Gust is probably our next best target, just because it's such a good hate card. I think the pile here is pretty obvious. Just put away the utility land. We took the land, but I think we just lose here. Do I want to surgical the Factor Fiction out of his hand? Is that even good? Yeah, let's do it. So opponent still can Titan on next turn, which is good for us. And I'm just not gonna play anything here, because he has Cryptic. We're not in a good position right now, but the game is still winnable, I guess. The game is still very winnable. Oh, he just plays Titan now, and I just lose, okay. We had a decent start, but we kind of punted away the win there. Like, drawing too many lands was definitely not a good thing, but that loss, I think that loss was 100% my fault. If I surgical that Gust, like Goblin Guide, opponent has to Cryptic the Goblin Guide eventually. That would have been so much better. Well, this hand's pretty great, not gonna lie. This hand's pretty darn great. We have 2 lands, a creature, we have double Skullcrack to stump Uro, and we have Surgical, so we can go for the amazing Skullcrack your Uro and then Surgical on it. I'm gonna fetch for a shock here. And the other Wooded Foothills will probably also be a shock, because opponent's running Field of Ruin, and I don't want to be cut off of white. Hopefully opponent doesn't have a turn 1 untapped Bolt. Like, we want to make him work for it, so either a shock land or a Triumph would be great for us. And the deck does play for Triumph, so... Okay, so they open up with Triumph. I love to see it. Drawing Lightning Bolt here would be pretty okay. Another Skullcrack? That's fine. Not gonna push Skullcrack through. Because if opponent... But I don't think I want to waste the Surgical on my own stuff to save Swiftspear. Because I really need to take care of Uro. This might be a Gust. Do I want to shuffle here and lose Swiftspear to Gust? It's not something I want to do, but I think it's something I have to do. I can't keep... I have... Oh, it doesn't Gust. Interesting decision. Might have Remand. It might just have a Gust. So no Gust from opponent. This might be a growth spiral. Okay, so it is a growth spiral. Might have to take a phone call here. One might just Uro, and we're ready for it. If opponent has Spell Snare, like I should have looked at his deck properly when I surgicaled his Uro last game. So opponent plays Wilderness Reclamation. So I'm gonna Skullcrack here. We're getting to a tough spot. Reclamation is such an annoying card for Drago decks. Land here is pretty great, not gonna lie. I might want to Skewer here, to be honest. Opponent doesn't have Cryptic mana, so I think I'm just gonna Skewer here. So opponent casts my Skewer, I think. Okay, he does. Want it on top, obviously. Another Reclamation. They didn't play any instant speed life gain, did they? I think I have to go for it. So let's check what opponent's on. Double Cryptic Command. Are we fine with that? Are we fine with double Cryptic Command? We totally aren't, right? Because opponent can go bounce, draw, and hold up another one. So the question here is, do I want to Skullcrack? Opponent goes bounce, draw, and holds up Cryptic Command, and I'll draw a Skewer, and I won't have mana to play both Skewers. I think I have to Skullcrack here. So he's definitely gonna bounce draw here. Oh, and this shuffling away my Skewer is actually good for me. I think opponent made a mistake by not doing anything to my Swiftspear. Takes the damage. That's brave. Do I want to skewer here? Opponent counter draws. I think I'll hold on to it. If opponent draws Uro, I'm kind of screwed, but I think I had the surgical there because the information was precious. Opponent still hasn't cryptic me yet. He's gonna play cryptic now for sure. Or does he just have an expansion explosion? He just has expansion explosion, so I'm just dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, I'm just dead. Oh, that super sucks. At work, can't counter queue, feels bad, man. Don't you dare. Don't you dare counter queue me. Opponent really scared me there with a possible expansion explosion. And that reminded me that they do run that card, so I think I need to win here. But I can't win here because opponent has cryptic. He has 2 cryptic commands. So what do I do? Because if I attack and try to bolt, we'll just counter it. No, but opponent has double cryptic. So I'm gonna play maybe stream at about 6, gonna try some stuff out. Anything interesting, or do you wanna keep it a spicy secret for the stream? 6 mana dorks. Usually play like 4, right? With Stacy's or Grazers. Fran has been using 7, that's probably wrong. Maybe. Ren and 6 great for us here. Yeah, I'm gonna go 3-3. Yeah, I can see that being okay. Opponent fields, which is fine for us. Wait, can we win? We can't, right? Okay, opponent has cryptic up, okay? So do I want to bolt here? He's gonna scry away a bunch of stuff. So my opponent's hand, I actually have complete information. He has double cryptic and Field of Ruin. That's nice, so I don't lose here. And I hate playing Empath without another target, but maybe it's good enough anyway. Maybe. Here's a question. Because Fran was playing it in his weird vile Titan list. If you splash the white, isn't there an argument to play Eladamri's Call in the main? Can opponent double cryptic me here? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and he still has focus, so I can't bolt here. Okay. I bolt face, opponent goes counter draw or counter bounce. But I do have enough mana to... Opponent having double cryptic is super. The issue with Call is that it on RX the same as Pact. Pet costing 0 is important for Teleria, and even if you're splashing green white is one spell. In one spell can be a push. I guess. Okay, your splashes aren't usually like a turn 2, turn 3 thing. Or you just have to keep a slow hand to cast them early, so I kinda get that. Now, wait a minute, let me just think super quickly. I place my Fierce Empath on the battlefield and summon forth the Mighty Colossal Dreadmaw. Oh, that's spicy. Muniz, if you get a 5-0 playing one Colossal Dreadmaw in the main, you win our contest of who trophies most. Because a Colossal Dreadmaw trophy is worth like 100 normal trophies. Yeah, the single-costed Path Purge is good because Temple Garden can be used for both. I see. I have played Varsiashak, it's the same, right? Well, it's not the same. What do I want to do here? I'm super low on time already, but this is game 3, so I have the time. If I bolt, opponent goes counter bounce, and I can replay it and skewer face and force the block. But opponent did keep one on top. So let's skewer face. And goes counter draw. Huh. So it didn't bounce my thing. Oh. Sweet child of mine. That doesn't work. We do actually trade if we attack here. There's no reason to trade, right? I'm gonna keep this land in hand just because it comes in untapped and I can just wait. Opponent starts going deep with field, so he has Cryptic and Unknown. Opponent attacks. Do I want to block here? I'll be down to 9. I'll be down to 9. I should have attacked last turn, to be honest. Like, if I'm gonna block here, I should have attacked. I think I could just take it. I think I can just take it. Opponent fields my land. So opponent still has a cryptic in hand. Okay. I'm gonna wait until my upkeep, because opponent's just gonna do a bunch of stuff. No real reason to... No real reason to hold on to priority. Opponent's scrying, he's gonna scry again, so his Cryptic's gonna draw something good. And like, I'm dead in 2 turns. This sucks a lot. This really sucks a lot. Goblin Guide's not a great draw. But like, I play it, right? One's not gonna counter it. I'm actually gonna attack with Goblin Guide, just because opponent has the option of tapping down my team next turn and attacking with a bunch of stuff. So I'm gonna go with Goblin Guide. The opponent has to block, so he loses an attack zombie. So even if opponent goes growths, oh, he can win here, right? He goes growth spiral, plays field. Oh, he didn't do it. Played field, made a zombie, cracked field, made another zombie, then attacks for 8, and I'm screwed. Again, just wait until my turn, there's nothing I can do. And again, game 2 and 3 ended up drawing too many lands. Like, I'm gonna block now because he has the ability to tap my team with... So I'm dead next turn. So I'm just dead, like I can't really draw anything here, right? So am I just dead? Yes, Cryptic command up. 8 damage. Damn. Super close. Like, we drew too many lands. Too many lands. How many lands did we draw? So these were 2 shocks, so 1, 2, 3... 4, 5... What's this? Factor fission? But you have Cryptic opponent. I can't beat Cryptic with my cards. Sadly. Because I have a land. Because I drew 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I drew 6 lands. Like, if I ever go above 4, it's already hard. So 6 is definitely a bad number of lands to draw. This matchup's taking a long ass time. A long ass time. Opponent chooses the Remand. No, it chooses the whole caboodle. Okay, so opponent has Cryptic. Enough damage on board to kill me. So I just lose, right? Yep. Close game, I think. Very close game. And there's the chest, now because the Euro's next turn, and they can Euro and escape it. So even if we had blocked with the Swiftspear to trade with the zombie, making us not dead here, you can beat double Cryptic with Reclamation out. Close game, very close game. I have to make a phone call. I hope I don't take too long, but I'm gonna be right back. Okay, sorry about that, we're back now. Just had to make a quick phone call. Let's get back into it. Losing against Steamerfield was a bit sad, especially because we lost because of our deck not drawing us enough gas. But I also misplayed game 2, so like I can't be too mad about that. Does this sound okay? I'm not hearing any sound from my computer. Sadly, this hand's a mulligan. Like, no lands is just... Okay, but I like this hand. And I'm actually gonna ship Incinerator. Doesn't do anything here. It's too draw dependent to keep, in my opinion. Oh, up against Panza. Huh. Because my opponent might pillage my land, I'm gonna start with Goblin guy with Fiery Islet. I take 1 extra damage from it, but I think it's worth it to be safe. Why don't you just bolt my Goblin guy? That looks very suboptimal. And plays a Scavenging Goose. Like, oh my god, what hand did my opponent keep? That he doesn't have a strong turn 3 play. The hell? Double creature. Oh, sadly we can't go for it. You can go for this though. A Guide and Swiftspear deal the same damage, and Pawns is susceptible to not drawing enough gas, so I don't wanna get in with Guide too many times. Opponent mooning us, definitely annoying. I don't think Incinerator's ever getting cast here, so I'm just gonna go face. My opponent F6s, so he doesn't have the removal. So we're happy about that. Glorybringer. Killing the Swiftspear is kinda strange. Like, I guess not. If opponent didn't moon us, this Boros Charm would be golden. Is that multi-format All-Star Glorybringer? Why, yes it is. Why, yes it is. Great card, not gonna lie. It's one of those cards that feels a lot better. Feels a lot better after you play with it. This is fine. Like a bolt away from winning. Come on, lightning bolt or lava spike. Lightning bolt or lava spike. Lightning bolt or lava spike. That's not a lightning bolt nor a lava spike. So I'll attack. It kind of forces the opponent to block, and he could have just exerted Bringer to get me down and low. I'll just attack here. Yeah. Forcing the block's fine. I now have enough mana to cast Rift Bolt or Skewer, so I'm just one top deck away from winning, and knowing myself, I won't do it. Okay, so I'm just dead to Scavenging Goose, okay. I'm not gonna concede, like I might draw. So 4 go down to 10, next turn opponent goes like 4 and 6, so no draw here. Well, yeah, he probably can just exile his things. And we draw Boros Charm like a champ. So we lost to Blood Moon, which is fine game 1. Like, opponent keeps a moon hand, so he plays it out. Maybe I should have bored. No, I had to kill the use on turn 2, I think. And I think I just make this swap. Definitely getting hit with Blood Moon makes me want to side out Boros Charm. Can't imagine what's like losing to Moon, what a scrub. Oh. Oh. Can't imagine what it's like losing to Moon, says the Titan player. This hand's fine. I think I just fetch for a basic here. We have a fast hand, so we definitely keep this. If we draw an Incinerator here, we're also golden, because we can suspend Rift Bolt. Just Goblin Guide's a fine draw, I think. I'm gonna suspend Rift Bolt. To kill off any blockers. We're in a great position. Can we bait a... Okay, Seasoned Pyromancer is annoying. Oh, come on. You beat us with Blood Moon. Why wouldn't you play Blood Moon? Okay, this one definitely goes face, like no question about it. Some math. Oh, I can't go to the board with all of these. Like, opponent's kind of in a pickle, right? What can opponent do if we triple bolt face? He goes down to 2, so he has to block both. But he can jump here and trade here and still has a blocker for next turn. I can kill Seasoned Pyromancer. I can jump with both and keep some board pressure. Do I like that? I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I do. What's our opponent's best play? Bailoff. And we can't beat the Bailoff here. I think I like skewering the Spyro and attacking with both. The opponent can kill my Swiftspear if he quad blocks it, if he triple blocks it. He triple blocks it, or even double blocks it, and we just kill one. So our best play might actually just be Skewer, see? What do I want to do? I'm actually not sure here. If I attack... Are we beating Bailoff anytime soon? I don't think so. So if I skewer face... I like skewering face here and attacking, and now opponent can't really triple block my Swiftspear. If he does, it just dies. Okay, so he goes for the safe play. Because he has 3, 4, 5 mana next turn for the tokens. I'm gonna hold here. Like, if opponent is afraid of Skullcrack, he might not try and go cast Bailoff. Okay, that's fine. Might mean no Bailoff. Skews is annoying. Skews is definitely annoying. The opponent can go up to 9 this turn. God damn it, House of Mana. How are you feeling, man? Okay, so big brain time. I'm just gonna crack this. Sure. Gain 1 life. It really doesn't matter. We draw Skullcrack. And Eidolon. So what can opponent, how much life can opponent win here? 1, 2, so up to 11. So I need to kill the Skews now. I really hate this line. I really need to kill the Skews. Like, killing the Skews or aiming face with it is practically the same, except Skews then clocks me super hard. So like, this way, opponent needs some pressure to beat me anytime soon, and I'll have Skullcrack to beat some life gain. Worse than yesterday. Good feeling I'm gonna be coughing up blood for some reason. Let's find out. Ooh, that's super rough. Feeling worse? Oh, weather the storm? Really, opponent? Really? That's super rough. Feeling worse is definitely not good. Hopefully you pull through. I mean, don't spend a couple bolts, so I'm just gonna Eidolon here. I got baked last night to try and ease it, did nothing. Well, that. Oh, seriously? Seriously, opponent. I think I have to trade. You're right. Man Trader still hasn't given me my money from yesterday. Not improving his money David. I mean, just start getting better. Well, that's just a fact. I don't love this land. Oh. I'm really in a pickle here. This game is going super rough. We were fine, and then opponent played double Weather the Storm. And another Bloodbraid Elf. It's gonna be one of those 2-hour Incinerator games, huh? I don't even think that's gonna be it. Cause Skullcrack doesn't even allow me to cast Incinerator if I top deck a land, so I need to crack this islet right now. What's our best draw here? Swiftspear is not awful. Alright, so Swiftspear is definitely not awful. Yeah, but I might need to wait for land and bolt here, which kind of sucks. It's a snap block. I'm gonna have to Skullcrack him here. I think this is gonna be one of those Ponzalicious games. Third bolt? Sure, why not? We still get the block in. Okay, so we have some hope. We have some hope. We need to draw Land Bolt or Rift Bolt. There's a land. So now we need Lightning Bolt. Or Lava Spike. Seal doesn't work right away. An opponent has something here. Oh, Spyro tokens, okay. That's fine. That's actually not fine, because now we're on a bigger... Yeah, we just die next turn. Shit, I just realized I have to have my webcam on when we filmed the podcast this week. Well, time to be in pain on camera for an hour. I mean, given your situation, you can just say that I'm all battered up. I'm not gonna turn on my webcam. Stomp face and bolt face. Or stomp face, okay. So, pretty rough matchup here. Double Weather the Storm is just hard to beat, with the skews in between. So it's gonna be one of those leagues, apparently. And I don't even have the excuse of crying about bad matchups this time. Because yesterday I started 0-2, but it was against Ad Nauseam, and man, playing Turn Will did fuck me over. You turned off your brain so much that it affected you. The turn that you held the Skewer and Spike, you drew Skullcrack the following turn, and because you held your spells you missed lethal and it cost you the game, my friend. Oh yeah, that's probably true. That's not probably true, that's 100% true. But casting those spells opens me to life gain from opponent, basically. And I think, yeah, I mean, look, hindsight 2020, I should have just risked it. Like, no excuses there. But my thinking when I was doing that play was, if opponent gains any form of life, I can't beat him next turn. So I think I just... So that was my reasoning. I can't beat him if he plays life gain, so I need to threaten Skullcrack to draw a card and have enough gas to fight through life gain. There's a saying in Portugal that says after a war everyone's a general. Well, it's still interesting to see why we lost, right? Like, there's something that's something that I love about Magic, is that most of my losses are because of a punt I did. We don't love this draw, but I'm gonna play a land here to threaten spell so this attack goes through. So no blocks. We get a free damage in. I'm gonna play Eidolon. One has to answer Eidolon, which is great for us. Oh, he's on Rakdos. Okay, so he has Lurus. So another Soul Scar. So opponent might not just have removal. Oh, this is beautiful. Opponent having no removal for Eidolon, and yet attacks. No blocks from me. If I draw a land, I'm gonna do something cute. So I'm definitely gonna do something cute. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna attack, opponent's gonna block, I'm gonna cast Boros Charm, he's gonna cast a spell to save his Skullcrack, and 2 plus 4 equals 6, so Incinerator is only gonna cost 1. Or opponent doesn't block and I just look stupid. He 100% blocks here. He has a damage spell, or like a cantrip, or like a Cling to Dust. So he takes it. And I'm gonna Boros Charm now. It costs me 2 life, but it also deals 1 extra damage to opponent. Now I cast the big boy. Oh, tons of chat here. At a talk in the Brazilian WhatsApp rating difficulty of modern decks, we all agreed on burn being a 5-6 out of 10. Agree, disagree. Way too much chat. Amulet Bromancing, Amulet Bromance, blossoming in chat. Can't disagree there. I'm simply pointing out what happened. I understand this is one to play around Bailout in that spot, but you cannot beat life gain. Simply stating that in this little. Yeah, that, like, no arguments here. That's just true. I missed lethal because I tried to be too cute. Against Ponza, you have to just go as fast as you can. And I didn't take that line, and it did cost me the game. So. A misplay, a punt, if you will. Not gonna block, because I'm fine in terms of health, and the opponent can put counters on this. Which is something I do not want. Just don't punt, kick the... well... Sure. Would if I could, or rather, wouldn't if I could. Burn being 5-6 out of 10. I don't know, Burn's a weird deck. Because Burn's floor is super low, right? You just jam shit into their face and you win sometimes. But the ceiling's a bit different. Because I hate this draw, but I think I can win here. The opponent blocks, so this is 1 damage. An opponent has Cling, an opponent can Cling me. So I think I have to wait. About burn, but I think that the deck requires a lot of repetitions to play optimally. Because sometimes you have to take weird lines with it to win games. Especially, there are some matchups that are super weird. So I don't know how would I rate burn, to be honest. It's easy to tell the difference between a good and a bad burn player, that's true. So opponent plays a Cling, and I'm just gonna kill him. Okay. So that's cool. So we're up against red-black prowess. We definitely want paths. We definitely want... We want surgical because opponent's on Cling. We also rank deck on biggest dealt difference, and there infect and taxes go way up. Yeah, that's true. especially for Infect. Infect has a lot of cute lines. What do I want to cut here? Do I want to cut non-removal spells? Like an animal? Oh wait, opponent's on Dragon's Claw for sure. So I think this is my go-to. Cut non-removal. It nerfs Incinerator a little bit because I don't have Lava Spike to turn to it, but on the draw I don't want to turbo it out just to see it removed. I say that, and my hand goes like, you want to risk losing? I'm gonna mull this. And I like this hand way more. We ship the mountain, as we need double white. And Kor Firewalker is not as good here, because opponent runs Fatal Push. Keep that in mind. I also think that we prefer having Kor on board instead of Eidolon, so I'm gonna lead with Eidolon to force removal from my opponent. Just attack here. I'm not gonna be blocking on this turn. In terms of deck ranking, you even said that your 10 was what? Okay, so one does play push here. Super awkward push. Now do I want to play Kor Firewalker? The one played one push. He might have a second one. It's not unheard of. So I'm gonna play Eidolon first. So what was your what was your 10? Okay, so opponent doesn't have push in hand. So now we play Kor, we play Seal of Fire, gain some life, and we kill the Abbot. One being Scapeshift, 10 being Lantern Scales, Pre-War Amulet. Wait. What would you say difference a bad and good burn player? Sounds like a good tip to know in order to be bad at playing it. Anyone can answer that question, but I'm gonna give you my answer. I don't think I can give you a proper answer. Like, way too many things, to be honest. One thing that I think makes a big difference is how well can you bluff stuff. Let's take a look at our Ponza game where I bluffed, where I tried to bluff Skullcrack, but because my hand was made of sorceries, that bluff was just super wrong. As someone pointed out, or Tar Heels 82 pointed out, it was a super bad bluff. Like, I just threw the game away there. So that's an example of a bad burn play, where you try too hard and just don't get it. If opponent has push, so no push. I should just say always yes to this. So we have a free block here. Okay, that's cool. Drawing land's not great, but we just play Eidolon here. Suspend this Rift Bolt. And let's not show him land. I'm not attacking here because I need to be on blocking duty. That's a fair answer in my eyes. Yeah, but it's not like a complete text of what makes a good a good burn player, right? So it's just an example. Sorry, Mnish. 10s were Scales Lantern and Pre-War Amulet. KCI was close to 10 as well. So I never did play KCI, but I knew that it had some weird, wonky rules interactions. But I'm really curious to play Scales. Like, I'm gonna be honest, Scales is very similar to this deck I'm playing against. Like, it's seriously similar to Prowess in the sense that you have a bunch of resources and you manage them to get some damage in, and there's a critical turn where you go all in, basically. So I think that these two decks are similar in that sense. Can I just win here? If I top deck any damage spell, I just win, right? So I think I have to play for that. Oh, tragic. We keep drawing lands. We keep drawing lands. Opponent has the removal, it's fine. Think I'm still alive, unless he has a bunch of lightning bolts. Or like a fatal push. Another abbot? Sure. We're one spell away from winning. We're one spell away from winning. In terms of Lantern, like, my first modern tournament was on Lantern, and I honestly don't think it's that hard of a deck to play. Like, its difficulty comes from basically knowing what you're playing against. And not... Now I'm scared. Now I'm legitimately scared. Keep drawing blanks. And he has a ton of damage to push through. Manamorph. Okay, I think I might just be dead here. So I don't actually think that Lantern's that hard to play. I think it's just so different that its floor isn't that low. And Pre-War Amulet, yeah, Pre-War Amulet was pretty rough to play. Like, I remember watching you play when I started playing Magic, Modern at least, and there were just so many lines that you would take that would just break my, like, blow my mind away. Now, not so much, right? Because Dryads enables Valakut in a pretty dumb way. We all agreed on Titan Shift Bogles on the low end. Yeah, probably. Am I dead here? 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14... I have to block. Like, I can't afford not to block. If opponent has Stomp... So opponent does have Stomp. I just Bolt's Face. Okay. Might still be alive. 10, 13, 17, and I just... Oh. Yeah, Exacxes. So once again... Oh, we weren't getting there anytime soon. Oh my god. Oh god. I think we just run it back. Like, it didn't go all that well, but... we were close. Titan Shift and Bogles on the low end, I think I agree. They're both pretty simple to pilot. But even then, they might have higher ceilings than they appear. Bring in Skullcrack. Oh, I hate Skullcrack here. There's a delay, so has brutality. That's actually very relevant. Maybe take out something. I definitely forgot that one. But especially being on the play, I think I don't want Skullcrack, maybe. I need to gain the habit of having deck lists open, just because some lists I'm not used to playing against, and I make sideboard mistakes, and you lose most matches because of sideboard mistakes. You as a person, like general people. Hey, the Eidolon, how's it going? Do I want to keep this? It's like super soft to removal, but I think I like it. I think I like this better than... I'm good, want to get into Modern, but can't choose a deck. Yeah, this is a keep for sure. By the way, Kathanakit, there's a slight delay in the stream, which I don't think can be removed because of internet latency and whatnot. So, advice is always gonna come in a little bit too late. I appreciate it, and I want people to give me advice when they're in chat, but there's still a little delay, and if I'm being rash about decisions, like my sideboarding, I was like, I'm just gonna keep it the same. So it came in too late. Either way, the evil honk. You can choose a deck. Well, that's the hardest part about Modern, to be honest. Because Modern is a mastery format. What that means is it's a format... we draw another land? That sucks, honestly. I'll get in that 1 point of damage here. I'm actually gonna kill Soulscar here. I'm actually gonna kill Soulscar. Soulscar is super annoying for us. Now we fetch for a shock tapped, because we can. Seal of Fire is not great, but maybe we can bait it out on Swiftspear. Another Seal of Fire? Well, now we can't bait it out on Swiftspear. But maybe if you draw a Goblin Guide. Maybe if we draw a Goblin Guide. I have 3 decks that look the most interesting and affordable to me, but I can choose. Yeah, as I was saying, Modern is a format of mastery, meaning your best chances to be successful at the format is picking one deck and playing it pretty much over and again. So you do need to find something that you do not get tired of. There's a couple of advice. The best one is also the hardest one to quote-unquote pull off, because essentially you need to have a friend. I'm just gonna jam Eidolon here to keep my opponent not attacking me. It's paper, FNM and in-store tournaments, yeah. The best way to decide on the deck is to try them out, right? But to try them out, you need a friend that's willing to play it with you. Croxa, really? Huh. Never thought that one would pick up. It's a good card to play in that deck for sure. Kor, no Kor. I'm gonna crack this Islet looking for Kor. So we find the Eidolon, we instantly jam that. I don't have anyone, and the 3 decks that look the most affordable and interesting are Green Tron, Fairs, and Jeskai Tempo. I don't have anyone that plays Modern. Yeah, that's That's the worst part about it, because if you don't have anyone that plays Modern, you can test them out. But option number 2, watch a bunch of people playing the format and like streams and whatnot to help you decide. Out of those 3, like Greentron is definitely the most competitive one, but don't let that dissuade you. Like if you practice enough with your deck, it doesn't matter which tier it is that you. I think I need to kill Luras here. If you practice enough, you can get to a point where you're beating higher tier decks. Oh yeah, this guy, I discarded the Sacred Foundry. Well, hopefully opponent doesn't have an Earth. He's just gonna escape Crocs and kill me with it. That's the correct line. And I have Path in, so that's something. Sorry, if you are already on MTGO, you can try renting service. Never tried Carver, but mandatory is a 35 per month subscription, which allows you to rent 350 tickets. This means you can sign up for a month and try at least most of the decks. The No Burn, Etron, etc. are within the range. Yeah, that's also a good option. Like, get MTGO, get a renting service for a month, and try it out. So I think we just lose here. We didn't draw any hate piece. Opponent also had removal for all our stuff. So we're just gonna lose. So I just lose right here because of the trigger and the hit. That's a sad one to lose, but this is the 05 league for sure. I'm gonna complete it. I might go 2 and 3, so I'm gonna complete it. But this is definitely a rough one, a rough league. I completely punted the Ponzo away. I punted the Teamer away. And this one... I think that this one was actually lost on draws. 04 drop, well... Yeah, if I go 04 I drop for sure. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But if I go 04, I drop for sure. Like I could give someone the win, like for the free win. That's a thing that can happen. Okay, let's focus now. Let's focus. Let's try and do good stuff. And we get a risky hand, which I want to keep. We get a risky hand, which I will keep. So why I kept this hand? I have the turn 1 creature to offset missing my second land drop for a turn. I don't want to miss it for 2 turns, but I don't mind missing it for 1 turn. And ideally we play... So this is a fatal push if I've ever seen one. Okay, so no land. Now is when we start getting nervous, because opponent has removal and we really need a land next turn. No removal here. A bit odd. I'm just gonna suspend this Rift Bolt because I want to jam Incinerator if I do find a land. Gonna push now. Greedy bastard. He didn't push because he was expecting me to commit to it. This could be a Thought Seize. I think it Seize on turn 1. He Thought Seizes now. So this is Rakdos mid-range. Gotcha. I don't think it's Jund. I think it's Rakdos mid-range. Takes the Incinerator. Okay. We actually prefer that. Okay. This land situation leads me to believe he plays Liliana, and Incinerator is swiftly answered with Liliana. If we draw land, we're fine. Okay. He has removal for Eidolon, but here's the thing. If he has removal for Eidolon, he's not playing something scary like a Lightning Sick Elemental next turn. Or he is, and he just takes 2, and I hold up Boros Charm, and he gets in a very awkward situation. Like, even if he... Ooh, that's Shadow. I wasn't expecting that one. Another Death Shadow. I definitely wasn't expecting that one. So obviously no second Eidolon. If I go double bolt, he can't... If I go double bolt, my opponent can't fetch for a non-basic. He can't Temur Battle Rage, and then I just win. Right? Or am I wrong? I double bolt him. I go down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so I go down to 14, so one shadow doesn't kill me. But like if he pushes... No, but he can't cast spells if I lock him out of the game here. Choices, because these aren't both instants, so I can't really sandbag it. So I think I just double bolt him down to 2. And I go down to 14, so one shadow doesn't kill me. If opponent has bolt, he can kill me. Like he attacks, I block, he bolts me. No, but I'm gonna block with Eidolon, like 100%. But I think I want to hold off on things, because I die to Lightning Bolt if I do anything here. Opponent fetches. I'm gonna do what I just said that I should be doing, and I'm gonna open this member. Oh, fully paid this member. Alright. Alright. So I got on 16, so I can tap my land twice. If opponent does anything else to touch his health, I just win. Wait. What does 2 do? Passenger response. Okay, so I just win. So opponent, did he know about Boros Charm? I don't think he did, right? Maybe he did. Okay, so we're up against Jund Shadow, which is a tough matchup. What do I want to side here? He did? Yeah, he did. What do I want to side in here? I still haven't come across a good Incinerator Shadow side. Definitely Path, right? I definitely want Path. Is Incinerator good? I don't think that Incinerator is good here. Like Shadow bricks Incinerator, Goyf can brick Incinerator. I've had Goyfs bigger than my Incinerator. So I think I just got Incinerator. Do I want to big brain a surgical to look at their hand? Probably not, right? So I just put one Skullcrack in, and I know that they play Collective Brutality. I know that they play Collective Brutality. Jund Shadow. God damn it. What do I want here? What do I want to get? Do I just got Incinerated? They do play Cobra. Yeah, they do, but I don't think I want to... like, if they play Collective Brutality... but a late Collective Brutality still gets me. So I think we cut Incinerator for sure. Do we want every Skullcrack? If we want every Skullcrack, we need to cut something else. Something else. I think I just take one Skullcrack. Yeah, this looks fine. If you have any suggestions, let's leave them to game 3. I was running out of time there. A keepable hand. Like, it's not great, but we have Path. We're also gonna draw land here. Shock into Thoughtseize. Taking away Path. Brutality, they only do -2/-2 discard, rare with drain. Well, yeah, but also they can do it, right? So if we're making math for lethal, of course I draw land here. It always happens. If I'm making math for lethal and they have it, that they can screw it up. Just open up with a Goblin guide for sure. We reveal Inquisition, which is probably their best card against us, not gonna lie. So they're just gonna Inquisition us. Oh no, they're gonna Fatal Push us. Interesting. Well, I still have to attack. I still have to attack. And okay, so I'm just gonna throw away the Path. I seriously can't. Well, I'm gonna throw away the Path. They would take Path anyhow, so I'm just gonna push damage through. We're definitely not in a great position though. Maybe opponent Goyfs here? If opponent Goyfs here, I'll be super happy. Oh no, he clings. Oh, My heart, my soul. Yeah, see, they have their life gain options. Which aren't great. Now, what do I want to draw here? Eidolon would be cool. It's not an Eidolon. You keep drawing lands. And this, like this league, sure I punted away some games, but how is this normal? How is this even remotely normal? I have 7 lands seen to 4 spells seen. Like what? What the hell? What the actual hell? This is what happens to burn players when they die. You go to a place where they keep drawing lands. And did have the Goyf. The opponent played it pretty well, not gonna lie. He could have done Goyf last turn, but he waited until he could protect it. Now we draw land. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So 8 lands. Ooh, and we draw a non-land? Amazing. But now Goyf is clocking us super hard. Okay, so now he wants to play Shadow. Just growing his Goyfs. Okay, that's fine. So he's not on the Shadow plan, which is great. Does that Shadow side, like these versions that have other threats other than Shadow, do they side him out? I feel like I never see Shadows on game 2 and 3 when I'm playing against Jun Shadow. Oh my god, another land? Okay, this is not funny anymore. What the hell? How is this normal? How is this? See, these are the games where I'm like, maybe I should play 19 lands. And then it goes to hell when I try to do that. I think we run it back. I think we run it back. Like, it would be nice to Skullcrack one of those clings, but make no mistake, this is a race. I'm actually gonna go 2-2, because I'm on the play here. But like, this is a race, so I really need to finish the game. No time for holding up mana and whatnot. Okay, I'm gonna keep this. It has 3 lands. His hand looks ideal. I'm even gonna fetch here for the illusion that I'm thinning my deck, which kinda helps, but not that much. As much as I'd like to play Revel Collective Brutality, my Goblin guys are just killing me. Now I really wish I boarded in every Skullcrack. This is a push. If I've ever seen one. Maybe this card, maybe a Thoughtseize. Probably a Thoughtseize. That's fine. No, I don't want to save Goblin, guys. It's just gonna die next turn to Collective Brutality, so there's no use in me playing a Boros Charm, giving it indestructible. Opponent might not even play the Collective Brutality. So we might be in an okay spot. We're still open to draw Skullcrack. Get to charm him here. Down to 12. Seal of Fire is not awful. The thing I love about Seal of Fire is that it's not a target for Collective Brutality because this only takes instants or sorceries. So I wish I had one less card in hand, to be honest. If he goes for something, he goes for Tarmogoyf. Is that a mistake? So Cling to Dust puts him back at 12, right? So I need something in this next turn. No, it puts him up to 11. Okay, so I have lethal here. Something, please. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. Alright, we finally win a match. Unbelievable. Let's go to match 5. For the pity play points. The pity play point league. We mold this. We mold this. This is why we don't play 19 lands. Like, this happens way too often with 19 lands. I played a super qualifier with 19 lands. Like, this has to be an Incinerator game. On a mult of 5, I only win this if I Incinerator. I played 19 lands on a super qualifier, and every match I lost was off of a mult of 5, and not even a very playable 5. It happened a bunch. So Stomping Ground here is great, means opponent is probably on Bonza, maybe on something else. But the turn to Incinerator is great here. Okay, so now we just play it out. Hopefully opponent doesn't concede here. Oh. So it's something spicy. Oh. That's not what I want to see. Gives you draw Goblin Guide. Not a Goblin Guide, but it works. So this is land destruction, right? So hopefully opponent doesn't have an answer for Incinerator. Okay, it does. Okay. Weird deck that I'm playing against. Hopefully I get to see what it is before this game ends. But it's probably something prisony, so it's 100% something prisony. Chalice on 2. No. Just like a Gruul prison. Alright, that's fine. So So he has another card in hand, for sure. He's gonna start eating away my lands, so I want to drop this Incinerator ASAP. Or just top deck a Boros Charm, that also works. Okay, so we draw lands, we get to play this Incinerator. Playing it pre-combat might be a bit greedy, but I don't care. My opponent needs an Incinerator answer in hand. So he trades, which is understandable. I'm fine with that, to be honest. Opponent can just start killing my lands, which is a pain, but hopefully he doesn't have an Incinerator answer. He might just have another Abrade. Yes, Karn. No, another Spyro. So he actually can't get lethal here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, he can trade with me. No. So we actually need a spell. Of course we don't draw a spell. Why would we draw a spell? Remember that we already cracked the canyon. Like, with 19, I break on lands way too often. With 20, I'm flooding way too much. Like, more than it should be... more than it should happen. Like, what can I do? That's fine. Should be 19.5. That's actually a thing. I'm gonna do some math today. No. I'm gonna investigate something today. And if it ends up being worth it, I'm gonna present my case on the next stream, which is tomorrow. Okay, so opponent's on Girl Prison. We definitely want these. Being on green, he definitely has something for this. But also, it probably doesn't have anything for this. Maybe it's too greedy to play Kor Firewalker. Alright, so what's our plan here? I think that the Incinerator package is good enough. Even if they have their cute little coding into a braid thing, I think slamming an Incinerator is too valuable. Burn spells are just great. So I might just cut some creatures, actually. No, I have to cut... I have to cut Eidolon. Or Boros Charm. I think I need to cut Boros Charm. Yeah, they're on land destruction, so Boros Charm is never gonna be reliable. I'm gonna cut some copies of creatures. Maybe Swiftspear. Or maybe Eidolon. My opponent was playing tons of... No, I think Eidolon's just a tad slow here. I keep in the 1, and I'll immediately draw it. I just know it. I'm not gonna keep this hand, out of principle. It has 4 lands, I've been... Okay, this is more like it. By the way, the 19.5 lands thing is just playing 61 cards. And listen to me. Hear me out, hear me out. The math checks out, I think. Because playing with 61 cards equals playing with 19.5 lands. If you're on 20 lands, you need 61 cards. The reasoning not to do that is obvious. You're diluting your cards that you want to see, especially if you're on Incinerator. You want to maximize having all pieces. But I think that it might be noticeable enough in the land situation without being noticeable in the... Oh no! I passed, god damn it. I accidentally passed. No big deal, I think. Opponent has Stomp or a Braid or Bolt, which he will do something about. Never thought about 61. It's something that I've been thinking about. I'll attack. I still value the seeing a non-land to not attack here. So we see a non-land, so we're happy about that. He's gonna Chandra next turn. Meaning we need to be fast. He has removal, Stomp or Abrade. It's the Abrades. So I'm gonna do this. The thing about 61 is that it dilutes your game plan, but I think it's noticeable enough in the land situation without being too noticeable in the other card situation. So probability-wise, I think that's going from 60 to 61 in 4 copies. Because we are playing we're playing a, what's it called? A critical mass deck, right? Like, an Incinerator does change this a little bit, but we're playing a critical mass deck, meaning that we don't necessarily want to draw a specific card. We want to draw enough cards. Ooh, and I'm so gonna jam Incinerator here. If I didn't fumble my spells... Oh, it's the same, because I couldn't Incinerate and Lava Spike. But the thing about 61 is that we're a critical mass deck, so we're not really diluting our game plan. Because our game plan, like our 40 non-land cards, or 41 in this case, all pretty much do the same thing. Like, it changes a little bit when you start thinking about sideboard. That's the reason I think that Yorion is not a good card, because if you're playing Yorion, I draw another Incinerator, that's funny. If you're playing Yorion, and you can say, well, I just play similar copies of cards. Like, first of all, some cards don't have similar copies of, and Yorion is usually in a deck where you want specific cards. Like in Control, you want specific cards for specific situations. So Yorion does dilute your game plan, makes it harder to find specific cards. So that's not a problem for us. The other thing about Yorion is that it makes sideboard cards worse. Like, we play 3 to 4 copies of our sideboard cards, and it makes it slightly harder to find them. But if the upside of not flooding as much is good enough, it might be worth it. I'll have to do some math today to check it out. Like, to see if it works in theory. This is removal for sure. So another Chandra and probably down takes on Goblin Guide. And the 61st card would be a Grim Lavamancer, I think. Or a Skullcrack from the side to bump our number of cores to 3 to make it better in a 61 card deck. Yeah, I'll post it somewhere for sure. Because I'm really curious about that. It might, in a deck like ours, because effectively we play 40 spells that do the same thing, deal damage. Like some cards are more valuable than others, and now in Incinerator we are dependent on specific draws, but we honestly aren't dependent on Incinerator to win. So that's that. We can... I'm attacking here. I think I'd rather force a trade now than having my Goblin Guide removed and simply being on a tighter clock. Because Chandra plus 2 Simian Spirit Guides is a pretty tight clock. Seeing as we're on a critical mass deck, I think it might be worth it. It's the Simian Spirit Guide, right? So coding is annoying here because it does deal with Incinerator. If he does have the Abrade, of course. We can do this. I looked at writing an app page that would do the math for you after importing a deck in a file, but then gave up when I was that sad with contextual. Example, redundancy in burn, playing Incinerator, etc. Yeah, it's not an easy thing to do. So opponent needs a specific answer here, and he's on one card, so I'm betting that he doesn't have it. And like, I'm not gaining anything by not casting my spells. Now opponent casts like a Bailoff, and I top deck a land, and then I cry. So he does have the Abrade. Okay, that's fine. Ancient Grudge. That's cute, but I don't know if I'd play it. Like, I mean, it does hit anything, right? Coding hits any permanent. That's actually pretty cute. I like my opponent's list. It's pretty cute. It's like Ponza that actually has land destruction. Maze Mind Tome's annoying. It's a ticking time bomb for us because it gains them 4 life. Like, it's perfectly reasonable that my opponent plays Weather the Storm. I think that Weather the Storm is a bad card in like control decks, but it's a good card in Prison and Combo because it gains you enough time. Oh. Like, I'm just flooding so much, and it's not just today. Like, a lot of losses are because of flooding. And look, today's not the best example because my first 3 losses were punts. Maybe my first 2 losses were punts. Let's leave it at that. My first 2 losses were punts somewhere in the match. So, like, I can't really blame my deck. Even if I flooded in one game, the other game I could have won if I hadn't punted. Like every matchup I've had one game where I flood, and it's super annoying. Like it closes, like it makes me have to play super tight with my stuff. And sometimes that's not even enough. The opponent had answers to all my creatures, and even to my big creature. Now I'm depending on my top deck, and if I don't draw something here I lose, I think. 3... Why don't you just attack? So choose not to attack, so you might have something in hand. So 2, I'm to 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. With Chandra that's just lethal, so I can just break this. Just trying to not draw land here. Any burn spell. Thank you. And now opponent untaps the forest and plays Weather the Storm. So we get the pity 50 play points. And look, we lost match 1 and 2 due to punts. Like, I'm not gonna lie there. We punted our game 2 against Teamer because we knew that opponent had an Aether Gust and he was tapped and we didn't surgical the Aether Gust, and it happened that he had 2 Aether Gusts, so we would have completely destroyed that game 2 if I had stopped, had his Reclamation trigger and think for a little bit. Then game 2 against Bonza, I had a very unfortunate line where I tried to outplay opponent and ended up outplaying myself. Like I was playing around him, playing around Skullcrack, and that obviously didn't work. I just wasted time, precious time that probably would have gotten me the win. Like I probably had the win if I didn't waste that precious time. And then against Prowess, we lost game 2 because of massive flood, and I think that even game 3 we lost because of flooding issues. I can't properly remember, but I think it was that. And now we win 2, even if we're flooding. Anyways, fun stream, not a great record, but it happens from time to time. Like, for every trophy, there's a bunch of bad leagues, so like you take the losses with the wins. There's no shame in not going even from time to time. So that's that. I'm gonna look into playing 61 cards, and I'm gonna do the math like a proper person to see if it's worth it or not worth it. To see if the downside is not big enough for its potential upside. So I think I just do this, or maybe this. I like both. Like Grim Lavamancer is a bomb when it's down, but not sure if I want to play it. Again, because adding a single Grim Lavamancer and going to 61 cards is counterproductive. Like you're adding a 61st card that's a single. Like this single Skullcrack is just critical mass, so it doesn't really matter if it's like the effect is nice, but I'm not even playing any in my main deck, so bringing in a single one doesn't change. Elix, I don't hate Elix, but here's my thought process. If I bring in the Skullcrack from the side, I can play the third Kor, and I have a 3/3/3 sideboard, which counteracts me playing 61 cards. Because remember, I'm going to be bringing in cards from the side that are not playsets into a deck that has Thunderous Rat. Oh no. No Thunderous Wrath. You know why? When I would play Thunderous Wrath? In a budget build, which I'm yet to test. I really want to test this, but as I said before, I don't have that many play points that I want. Rending Volley? What is that? You probably mean Shard Volley, right? I'm assuming you mean Shard Volley. Because that's the almost but not really playable Lightning Bolt. Huh, that's interesting. That's an interesting consideration. Because you are playing against flooding, so you play an anti-flood card, or rather a card that has 0 downsides when you're flooding. Maybe. But I'm really not convinced with playing only 2 Kor Firewalkers in a 61 card deck. I think I really want the third, because you saw that prowess matchup. Our angles are an early Incinerator, an early Eidolon that doesn't get removed, or an early Kor Firewalker. So I think that, and Kor Firewalker is really good. I usually play 1 volley 5th bolt. The problem with that is that this is only good in 2 situations. Those situations are if it's your last spell to win the game, where you don't care about your lands, and with Force of Negation being a thing, I don't like that as much, and with people playing stuff like Weather the Storm, I also don't like that as much. And the other situation is when you flood. I'm trying to avoid that. That's why I would be playing 61 cards. I'm trying to avoid flooding, so I think that playing a card that wants me to kind of flood sometimes is also counterproductive. But all good considerations, like a Lightning Helix, a Skullcrack, a Shard Volley, all good considerations. But I'm inclined to try this first. I still need to do some math to see if it's worth it. So I need to make a bunch of... I'll figure it out later. That's what years of engineering are for, right? Anyways, thank you for watching the stream or the video on YouTube if you're watching it on YouTube. Tomorrow I'll stream some more. I don't have a fixed schedule. Sometimes I stream a little bit earlier, sometimes a little bit later, because it depends on at what time I eat lunch, and I don't make the lunch, so I can't really plan that ahead. Anyways, see you next time. See you tomorrow.